So I'm back out at the farm today. It is a beautiful Tennessee fall afternoon. It's actually pretty cold today. It's 55 degrees today. I'm actually meeting the gas guy to turn the pilot lights on our shop heaters for the first time. So we'll get that turned on today, because once winter sets in, I won't be out here. I'll be in there doing projects. You got to take advantage when Tennessee presents a fall afternoon that's sunny and pretty. You got to take advantage of it, and I try to every time. So I dumped out the water heater. We're well into winter. I should have done this back in November, but I wasn't thinking. Partly because my valve on my water heater is broken. I've turned the water off at the road, so the utility company does that for me. The only water lines, they run in this finished space and then out here over to there. I guess he had like a sink or a washer and dryer. So I've drained all those. There's no water in any of that. There's no water in the water heater. I'm gonna put a little antifreeze, and somebody can tell me in the comments. I haven't researched this. I'm just gonna put a little bit of straight antifreeze, not diluted, just to keep if there's a drain there that's holding water, just to keep it from freezing. So what I've been doing from November, and it's the first day of January, I've been running these big heaters inside to keep it about 60 degrees in here. And we had a crazy winter here in Nashville. We had a water line at our house freeze. It got so cold. So it was 0 degrees and below zero out here. So I've got all the faucets open to let all the water out. And then I'm gonna dump all the water out of these things. And then I'm gonna put a little antifreeze in the toilets. You know, there's no water, our water fountain, there's no water in that I'm aware of. And I got my drains open here, and I'd already flushed this. And I'll do the same thing. I'll pour just a tad of antifreeze in there, in all the drains, just to keep anything, if it gets real cold like it did, I'm not gonna be running any heat in here for the rest of the winter. So I got straight antifreeze, not diluted, and I'm just gonna pour just a tad in there. And I just winterized the RV, did the same thing there. I drained out all the water lines. I'd already done that, but I went ahead and drained them out fully, and then I blew them out with the air compressor. That's what you do on an RV. You blow the lines out with an air compressor. It's all PEX inside there, and I'm pretty sure if PEX freezes, it just expands and then goes back down. But better to be safe than sorry. All the water's out of the lines. I blew them out with the air compressor, and I'll do the same thing in there. I'll put just a little antifreeze in the drains, just to make sure that any water that's accumulated doesn't freeze, because we are supposed to have a pretty rough winter. And I'm not going to run the heaters anymore. There's no telling what my heat bill is going to be. This building is insulated, and when I came out here earlier in February, it was 20 degrees outside, and it felt great in here. I mean, they were kicking on pretty regularly to keep it that way. So I was just paying to heat an empty building, basically, just to keep my water lines from freezing, because I didn't plan ahead. So $527 gas bill. That sucked. So next year, I will not make that mistake. I mean, it got way down really, really cold, but I will not make that mistake again. I will shut the barn down well before we get into winter and not wait until January like I did this year, like an idiot. So that's a bad plan. So obviously I think next winter, what I'll do is like in November, like we closed down in November of this year for my birthday. It was the last time we were out here to stay. I've been out since, but I've not been running water and all that. So probably the end of November, middle of November, I'll probably have the city turn the water off at the meter. So January and February, probably most of March, I'll leave it turned off. And if I'm out here and I need to do a toilet or something, then I'll just bring jugs of water with me and be able to dump the toilet. That only comes into consideration if you have to do number 2. If you just have to, I mean, guys, we're kind of lucky. If we just have to go number 1, we just go outside. Should be all winterized. Both my tractors have antifreeze in them. I don't think anything else is gonna have a problem. Gas isn't gonna freeze. So I think we're in good shape. Should be able to come back after the winter, turn everything back on, and be good to go. So I'm not positive that putting antifreeze in the septic system is a good thing. But I mean, I'm literally not putting that much. Probably put more there in the toilet than I'll put anywhere. There's just not much in these drains. So I mean, anywhere where water could collect, I'll just give it a little antifreeze. Now I'm not planning to like use these sinks all winter, so just enough to keep them. And then I'll do the same thing in the RV. And that's pretty much, I'm done. I mean, that's winterized. I will put some in here. You know, the hot water heater's drained fully. And I'm not gonna even put the and I'm not putting very much antifreeze in there. So I think, yeah, there's no more water draining out of that. So now I'll go do it in the RV. So I'm not sure, regular old antifreeze is probably not the best thing to use, but it's just hard to find they make one that's for RVs. I'm gonna set this down. You know, they make one that's just for RV, supposedly. It's gotta be the same thing. I doubt they're making special antifreeze. So I'll just put some in this sink. And I think I used regular antifreeze last year, and it worked just fine. Especially in the RV. I mean, it may stain that. I think I remember it. It didn't do it. And then I'll just flush some of this. And that's it. So I mean, the only concern I have with using regular antifreeze in a septic system is that, you know, there's all kind of living organisms that are in a septic system, and you don't want to generally mess those up. You want them to be fine. And I'm not sure if antifreeze is going to impact that. It probably doesn't matter. It's probably a 1,000-gallon tank, and I'm putting, you know, less than half a gallon of antifreeze in it, so it's probably so diluted it won't matter. But if anybody watches this video and has any thoughts on that, let me know in the comments. I'm probably going to go home and Google this. That's it. This is what I do a lot. I will complete a project completely and then go and Google the things that I should have done before I did it. This is not life or death here, so it's not that big of a deal. I have been known to do life and death projects this way, and that's generally not advised. So please don't follow in Deano's footsteps. This is just for me to remember how stupid I was years from now. It's not for your entertainment. It's for your entertainment, but not your knowledge. So don't follow in my footsteps. Have a good one. I may walk around the farm while I'm out here, just get some exercise and breathe some clean air. And I might even start my tractor. Took the tractor out for a little ride and winterized her as well. Drained the fuel out. I did not have ethanol-free fuel in it, and it was kind of hard to start, so I'm getting rid of the gas. Getting rid of the bad gas. Going to get some new gas for her. She'll like that.